Republicans are dragging us into a weird dystopian, like a fictional era of America. The downfall of our country we are on the precipice of the downfall. And guys like Dan Meuser from Pennsylvania, Republican Congressperson, is tip of the spear in this effort, trying to drag us back into some kind of not drag us back, or it's into the future. They want to recreate the Minority Report. You know, that movie with Tom Cruise where he was John Anderton or whatever, where they would go arrest people for crimes that the psychic slaves down in the water saw that they were going to commit, and they would go arrest those people. And you're probably thinking to yourself, because it would be natural and normal for you to say, what? No, that's ridiculous. You're being clickbaity with your words. But I got a clip here where he's talking to somebody on Fox News, and he says just that Kilmar Abrego Garcia, he might not be a terrorist, but he's a potential terrorist. Justifying what the actual domestic terrorist is doing to our country. And I'm talking about Donald Trump, a man who pardoned, it's like 1,600 domestic terrorists who were convicted of attacking the United States Capitol. And what do they call a violent attack with a political objective? That's terrorism. Here is Dan Meuser, and then I got another doozy where he's not justifying the attack on the Jewish governor, Josh Shapiro, of his home state, Pennsylvania, but certainly doing, yeah, it's bad, but first, though, here he is he's cosplaying as John Anderton from Minority Report.
And so he gets deported. He's here illegally. We have a United States senator and a bunch of knuckleheads in the House that now say their main priority is bringing back someone. Maybe he's not a terrorist, but he's a potential terrorist. He's a terrorist watch list person. They want to bring him back. You saw the El Salvadorian president. He laughed. He said, why in the hell would I bring back a potential terrorist back to the United States when his home country is El Salvador?
Potential terrorist. We have a legit domestic terrorist in the White House, a legit criminal in the White House, someone who's been convicted of 34 felonies and would have been convicted of more if not for the fact that eggs were expensive, and he got back into office and shuttered all of the investigations. All of them gone. Stroke of a pen, because he's now president. And he's been imbued by the Supreme Court of the United States with unimaginable powers free from consequence. Abrego Garcia doesn't have a criminal record. The vast majority of those who have been disappeared from the streets of the United States were here legally and then shipped off having committed no crime. And the administration providing no due process to prove the allegations that they're making against these people. And this dipshit says he's a potential terrorist. Here he is in the aforementioned promised second clip, making excuses for, putting the blame on Josh Shapiro himself for political violence. So we're shipping out, disappearing from the streets of the United States, potential terrorists, yet he's making excuses for actual ones who tried to murder the governor and his family.
Hey, just on the whole thing with the governor's office yesterday being attacked on Passover, which was horrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely awful. It needs to be condemned. But what just kills me, and I hate to have to go back to this, but there's been so many Tesla dealerships firebombed. There was a firebombed GOP headquarters out west. And meanwhile, you got those on the left, continuing to make violent type of hostile commentary. And this happens, and we all jump right on board saying this is horrible. This needs to be condemned by all. And so the left's got to look in the mirror here too. And again, there was nothing to state other than how terrible what occurred was. But look, this has been going on from the left to the right. this instance, this guy was a psycho, of course, and our hearts go out to the Shapiro family on this. But they got to tone it down too. I mean, every action Josh Shapiro has taken so far against the president has either been a lawsuit or a falsehood. And, that's not helpful either.
Yeah.
That's not helpful either.
Hey, look at he's one of the you're right. He's one of the amen chorus for the Democrat lunatics. And my own view, and I don't want to press this on you.
Yeah.
His incompetence in protecting the governor's mansion, which is all of ours, not just his family. And it is charred. It is substantially damaged. And, man, he better get to the bottom of the incompetence that allowed it to happen.
Yeah. Well, we can't say enough about this, not just denouncing what occurred, and this individual needs to be jailed. Probably for his life, that would be good.
Yeah.
But then you have a car bomb go off in front of the Trump Hotel, and I'm not sure the governor's office made too much of a statement about that.
Nothing.
And so look, let's just take a breath and realize that that this sort of thing needs to be condemned by both sides all the time, 100% of the time.
Not a good look there, Danny boy. Not a good look. Our hearts go out to the Shapiro family on this, ... but they got to tone it down too. This is what passes for leadership in the Republican Party today. They have a man at the helm. They have a man at the pinnacle, in the throne of high power, their dear leader, who has trafficked in political violence his entire time on the scene. I want to punch him in the face. I'll pay your legal bills if you assault one of these protesters at my rallies. He has dispatched a violent mob to try to overthrow the United States government in an effort to overturn a free and fair settled American election. And then when violence befell him, he cried, "Oh, I can't believe this happened." And when violence comes, or the threat of violence, arson, an assassination attempt comes to a Democratic governor, Josh Shapiro in this case, and there's been others. It's, we feel really bad, but they need to tone it down too. What about Tesla? What? Again, this is what passes for leadership in the Republican Party today. I invite you to this conversation. What do you think? Sometimes there is no answer to be given for the nonsense that is being broadcast on Donald Trump's North Korea-style state media, which is Fox News. You can comment below. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. I do want to hear from you. Please consider supporting this work. You can click the join button below. For $2 a month, become a channel member and help me produce these videos that I do every single day on this channel. And I would appreciate it very much. You can also go over to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. Both those are great ways to help support this work. And I will see you next time. Till then, be genuine. Take care of one another.